terms of consequences for a person displaying or using a fake ID, and I guess we should differentiate between fake ID and someone else's actual state-issued ID.
Yeah.
There are different consequences. As far as the state is concerned, they look at someone who has a completely fictitious or manufactured ID, a fake ID. It's a pretty serious offense. When used to get into the bar, it may seem less, it would be less of an offense, less egregious, less, whatever words or terminology you want to use. That's also serious, using a fake to get into a bar. It used to be an aggravated misdemeanor, which is like a very serious, you will go to jail if you're charged with that crime. Using someone else's ID, an actual state-issued ID, it just doesn't belong to that person, is less serious. And it's specific in the law that if you use someone else's ID to purchase alcohol, it's actually written that way, in my understanding. So, more serious to have a completely manufactured ID that's fake and use that ID, less serious of a crime to use an actual ID given to you by somebody to purchase alcohol.
I mean, you could theoretically go into a bar and you could arrest the first person that you end up talking to just because of different circumstances of what happened. So that means that you're going to be away from the downtown area for an extended period of time, getting that person booked into jail, that kind of stuff. So it can be as low as 5 or so, and then it can be as high as, I don't know, 25, 30, even higher than that sometimes, just depending on what the enforcement action is at that time. And there's a lot of circumstances that that come into play when making those types of decisions, such as, is the downtown area busier for this weekend or something, so we need to really show our presence at more of the bars and not take as much of an enforcement action, or are we looking at